Hi there, it's Caroline Cousins, and we are looking at the energy, the tarot forecast for the month of November 2019 on the world stage. Try to keep this as short as possible, as near as 10 minutes as possible, so it doesn't drag on for too long. Oh, just shuffling the cards now. Right, first one out for the month of November, hopefully you can see it, is the Sun. Can you see it okay? That's it. The Sun card, which is a lovely card. So it's a little bit different from the energy of October, I feel. Now, the Sun card is a major arcana card, and it follows the Moon card in tarot. So the Sun rules Leo, and as the Moon rules Cancer, you know, Leo follows Cancer in the zodiac, and the Sun rules Leo. So it governs the 5th house of games, pleasure, romance, children, creativity, expressing yourself, all those sort of things. It's fundamentally, it's about, it follows the Moon card. The Moon, you know, is also representing the womb, and now we've got these children who have emerged from the womb into the full light of consciousness. And it's kind of like a union between what's been in the shadow and what's come to light, from the subconscious to the conscious. So it's as you see the two children in the picture, it's two halves of the whole, the Sun and the Moon as well, like twins, two halves of the whole. So the Sun is a lovely card, isn't it? It's very much about happiness. You can see the Sun there. It's full of vital energy. It's joy. It's confidence, it's good health, it's all those wonderful things. So I think you're going to find the month of November on the world stage is going to be a lot more joyful than the last month, because October was pretty turbulent in many ways on the world stage. But the thing about the Sun card is that it also represents heat. It's about the sun, it's about hot. So I know there's raging fires in California, so I feel that they may well continue into November. Certainly the first half of November here. There's still more of that coming on, and potentially there's an eruption somewhere as well. We've got the full moon in Taurus coming up. You know, it's very earthy energy, and we've got the Sun card coming up here, so we're potentially looking at an eruption coming up here in the earth. So we're talking about a lot of heat. I'm not sure that's straight. Let me just straighten that for you. A lot of heat there. It's also about a lot of energy. There's a lot more energy coming into November, and I can see obviously we've got certainly in the UK we've got a lot of people out there on their political campaigns, so there's a lot more energy. There's a feeling of a lot more positivity in general around, which actually we need on the world stage. We don't just need it in this country, we need it everywhere on the world stage. We're talking about a much more social month for people in November, more joy, more confidence coming in, a much better month than October was. And I know, I think that I've read somewhere that the full moon in Taurus, which is, what is it, on the 12th? Is it on the 12th? Somewhere around that time in November is quite a benevolent full moon. And I actually feel the whole energy of this month is much lighter than it has been. And oh boy, do we need that. So we're looking at children here. And let's just pull another card out to go with that as well, because there's something to do with children coming up here as well. Beautiful. I love the Sun card. Right, pulling another card. We have got the Two of Cups coming up. Lovely card to follow the Sun. So you can see the energy picking up already for November. The Two of Cups there, following the Sun card with the children. Now, Two of Cups is about partnership, it's about commitment, it's about new romance, it's about love and affection, again, the social side as well. So I think anyone that's watching this video, you're going to probably find that your social life in general is going to pick up a lot more in November. And it, you know, Two of Cups is also about flourishing friendships and balance and harmony and that side of things as well. So the number two, anytime we get number two coming up in the tarot, it's about balance, it's about union, it's about a coming together. And you're following the Sun card, which has two children in it as well. So we're looking at union, we're looking at coming together. But I also feel on the world stage that we've got some good news coming there to do with someone that's pregnant. That it's almost as if I actually want to say the Duchess of Sussex. I don't know if she's pregnant again, but I was looking at her the other day thinking there's another baby coming soon. So I'm gonna stick my neck out here and say there may be an announcement of another baby coming, or maybe she finds out she's pregnant, or someone connected in the royal family do, and may not announce it for another 3 months or so. But I just feel there is a new child that's on the world stage coming into view. And in my mind, I got the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, there, but we'll see. We'll see. I just feel there's something to do with children coming up there, that's hitting the news. Something that's hitting the news. Might be Greta Thunberg again. I don't know, but it feels much more joyful. It feels much more like something out of a romantic relationship coming there. That's hitting the news there. Let's just pull another card as well to go with those, because again, and I love the fact that romantic relationship or that union there is following the Sun card. So it's got every aspect of joy coming with that. So it's a much lighter energy. You know, the twos, again, they're about balance, they're about light and dark, yin and yang, feminine, masculine. It's about coming together. It's that urge to nurture there, because it's number two is a feminine number there. So there is a much lighter, brighter energy of November. So pulling out the third card, which is interesting, there's the Hierophant or Pope there. Now, in ancient Greek, actually, the Hierophant actually refers to priest. So it's a priest card. It follows the High Priestess. The High Priestess was much more about that higher knowledge there. You know, it's about hidden knowledge, that the High Priestess, whereas the Hierophant, the priest, the Pope, is another gateway, but it's much more of a conventional gateway. So the priest, the Hierophant card often represents institutions, universities, religion, police, hospitals, people even getting married there. And you can see, as you look at those three cards, there may be a marriage on the cards here, and the marriage can be again, and we're talking about union through all of this thing. So we're talking not just about marriage of a couple, it may be a marriage of a famous couple out on the world stage, but I think we're also looking at an agreement, a marriage going on of, it could be two countries, it could be two armies, it could be agreements of some kind coming together. There is a much more of a harmony in a marriage coming in. And I'm actually drawn to our parliament, would you believe, in the UK, which there couldn't be anything further from the truth at the moment. At the time of recording, this is on the 31st of October 2019, I'm recording this, but there is much more of a coming together there, and I'm drawn to the Parliament in the UK here as I look at that Pope card, and I can see that there is a big change going on in that Parliament. We know that there's a general election coming up on December the 12th, so Parliament will be dissolved at some point in early November, so that all the relevant parties can get out there and sell their policies and get those votes on their campaigns. So I know that's going to be in the news quite a lot, certainly in the UK. But interesting, the Hierophant is also ruled by Taurus, and the full moon is actually in Taurus in November, and Taurus represents the material world, the possessions, the money, security. So we're going to be looking at what's happening on the world stage in terms of money as well, and possessions. I think it's the second house that it's connected to. So we're looking at Also, the priest Pope card, as I say, is looking at marriage, is looking at institutions. It's also looking at teachers, mentors, gurus, priests, leaders. It's also calling out for a deep need for routine. So I want to say it's about getting your house in order as well in November. So getting things structured, getting things in order there. I'm also drawn to the police as well coming up. So I think there's something about the police going to be in the news. And also as we look, we just had the report in the UK, the Grenfell Tower, and we're looking at the Sun card with the heat, and we're looking at the institution with the Hierophant there. We've just had a report that the fire service was criticised quite heavily in this report for the Grenfell Tower. So that, again, there's more to come on that I think is coming out as well, because we're looking at that fire service coming up in those cards. So there's more on that. Certainly in the UK. There is also with the Hierophant, there can be a dislike for disruption. The Hierophant likes order, likes routine, it likes structure. It's a very structured card, a bit like the Emperor card. It likes its routine and structure. It's very official by nature. So I'm drawn to the European Union with it as well. And I'm drawn to governance, very much about governance, I feel, with this card. So there's going to be a lot more in terms of the governance with politics coming on the news, but in so much as unions being made, pulling together, coming together rather than a splitting apart. So I feel that the energy is much more benevolent in November in general. I hope I'm right, but we'll see. However, having said that, I know that I'm also picking up demonstrations. Oh joy, more demonstrations. So that this may well be Hong Kong as well as in other parts of the world. So that there's an anarchy, there's a rebellion also with the Hierophant that can represent anarchy and rebellion. So we need to look at the overall energy here with this. So let's have a look at the overall energy for November, because I want to keep this as short as possible. Okay, and the overall energy coming up is this card here, the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles as the overall energy for November affecting those cards. The Two of Pentacles, again, another two, so it's about union again, but we're much more about balance. We're about fluctuating fortunes here because we've got pentacles. So I feel that financial markets are going to be up and down throughout November. There's a duality here. Are we living beyond our means? Is there an unstable instability in the financial mechanisms? I feel that there is across the markets. And again, I want to go to Hong Kong. I want to go to the Far East with the instability, and I want the Bank of England. Is there the interest rate? Is that going to be rising? There's something going on with the fluctuation of the finances there, and a sense of restlessness, uncertainty coming in, other words that I'm picking up with it. When there is help coming in, if you're watching this, if you're offered some help, don't ignore it. It feels important that you accept it. It's also bringing second chances as well. Second chances. This is what I mean. If you're offered a second chance at something, don't ignore it. Accept it. There. I feel there's more demonstrations, there's more rebellion going on in the world. The financial markets are really up and down. They're fluctuating. They're all over the place. There's uncertainty, not just in the UK, but I'm taken to that Far East there, what's going on out there. Less so with America, much more towards the Far East I'm getting with it. I do feel someone, as I said, maybe pregnant. And I also want to say, I mentioned earlier about the police. I think there's something on the news to do with children and the police. So I don't know whether there's some sort of legal case that's going to be coming up here. I'm not getting the justice card, so I don't think so. But I'm seeing the police on the news. Maybe a child is missing, or maybe there's some news about a child being found, or something along those lines, because I'm getting the police coming in, which is with the Hierophant there as well. So overall, I'm going to just keep it very, very brief. I'm going to say that actually the energy for November is better than it has been, but we're not out of the woods yet. There's still some disruption going on. There's still some instability with the financial markets, which I feel will go on for a while yet. Some maybe some ups and downs. There may be some eruptions going on, volcanic eruptions, and more fires coming in for sure. But there is also a coming together at the same time, and actually sometimes it takes disasters that pull people together. So there is this sense of coming together at the same time. There's a lot of focus for the month on the material world and on money and security, and obviously politics as well, on institutions, politics and governance in general. So we kind of got more of the same, but we've got a bit of a lighter vibe about it. So still demonstration, still some rebellion, still some anarchy coming in with it, but there's a lighter vibe with it, and it's bringing people together at the same time. Have a great month, and remember, anything that you see out there, anything that's triggering you, go and look within and work on yourself first, because the external world always represents what's happening in the internal world. I'm going to do another one on Brexit and the election, and that'll be coming in due course. Take care, people. Thank you for watching.